have you ever been afraid to upset someone? Do you have kind of like the fear of like, okay, I don't want to do this, I don't want to say this because this person might get upset, my mom, my dad, my friend, my partner. If you're anyone who's ever felt like you could be upsetting someone by being you, being fully you, and doing what you want and doing what you love really upsets people, this video is going to be for you because I want to share with you some potent truth about this and how you can overcome the fear of upsetting people. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Welcome back to Awaken with Tina. My name is Tina Wong. I'm a spiritual guide and mentor, and on this channel we post every day all the information, all the knowledge, all the wisdom on how you can step into your truest and highest alignment. So if you guys are about that life, like this video, would love that. And also let me know in the comment and subscribe to the channel. So what's going on here when we're being afraid to upset people, afraid to be a letdown, we're afraid to, really be seen and be heard for who we are and expressing our truth. And this is a conversation that I was having with my one-on-one client yesterday. So during our private session, a lot of these fear that he was having, it was coming up around, I wanted to express me, my genius, my crazy, my ideas, but I'm afraid to leave people behind. I'm afraid that they don't understand me. They think I'm too much and I'm moving too fast and, all of these things. So what was coming through a lot during our conversation is I'm afraid to let people down. I'm afraid that they won't understand. I'm afraid that they will leave. Now, I don't know if this sounds familiar to you, but if you are someone who've ever dealt with any type of abandonment wounds, I had definitely felt like that, growing up. When you feel like you're not good enough, you feel like you need to do something to prove yourself. You need to do something to be accepted as a good son, as a good daughter, as a good boy, as a good girl, as a good friend. It's like we bought into this idea of this like overrated righteousness that we need to be a certain good little mold, or else we won't be accepted by our friends, even our loved ones, and in our society. And the truth about not being enough and wanting to be validated and not wanting to be a letdown, all of that, it comes down to this one truth. You can never let anyone down. Do you know that? You can never upset anyone. Do you know that? People have a choice to be upset. People can feel let down. People can choose to look at things that way. You have no control. You are powerful, but you have no control over someone else's emotions. So once you know that you have the right to feel and think and do and be who you are, same with other people. They have the right to choose to think and feel and be and react in the way that they want to. And if you know the truth is that all of us, we have free will. We do the things that we want to do, maybe consciously, subconsciously. That's another topic, okay? But the truth here is that you can never upset someone. They chose to get upset. They chose to feel let down. They chose to feel disappointed. And what does it all really mean? It means that they have already set up a standard that was never yours to match. They have a personal standard. Like you have a certain personal standard for how you are to be in your life, for who you are meant to show up, what is good, what is bad. Like you have these ideas. Same with the people that you're afraid to upset, that you're afraid to be disappointed, or afraid to disappoint them. It's because they have been living by their own rules and their own set of standards. And if, for example, if someone, growing up and they've been in a type of family, army, it's like we need to do things this way. Of course, they're going to have that certain expectation of you in somehow because, you are who you are and you attract that kind of energy that you are, and how you do something is how you do everything. So knowing that if it's their core belief that everything needs to be in place or it's not good enough, everything, even the house, it needs to be like this way and this way and this way, or else it's not good enough. And then there you are going into the house, let's say this person's your roommate, and you're like, oh, I just like to change up my living space. Oh, I like to add flowers. I like to add this. And they're like, whoa, wait, you can't do that. Like, no. But the thing is, if they're upset by you being you, by you doing what's true for you, you have to understand that they are living by their own standards. They are looking at the world by their own perception. Same with parents. It's why I love having conversation with parents who are conscious parents. We talk a lot about conscious parenting, and a lot of that is as our consciousness rising and expanding on our planet, us as parents or future parents, or wanted to be parents, is important to think about what kind of things are we passing down to our children. So this is why doing the inner work, doing the healing work is so important. Otherwise, if you have a certain set of beliefs, like this is how it's supposed to be, or if you're anyone who's like, I'm going to grow up in this household with this religion, with this set of beliefs, right? And if your parents has forced it onto you, how do you feel? Let's say that your parents are Christian, Catholic, whatever religion, right? Buddhist, right? And then they're like, no, you need to be a good Christian, you need to be a good Buddhist, you need to be a good whatever religion, right? And you will never feel like you live to that standard, because you're like, oh, but I'm curious about this way of looking. I'm curious about this way of being. I'm curious about looking at the world in a new lens. And your parents may not accept that, right? They may feel let down by you not following their faith, following their beliefs. And this happens a lot, actually, in my community, in the people that I work with, the beautiful empaths that I work with, is that they have such a big heart and curiosity for life, but oftentimes their family doesn't feel like they are being understood, or they feel like their family thinks they're crazy, and all they want to do is to do good. But the thing is, when you devote your life on pleasing others, when you devote your lives by not following your own rules, your inner compass, and following what he thinks is right, she thinks is right, they think is right, you can never please anyone. You can't. Like, you can try. You're having a miserable time doing it. I can tell you that. Let me just save your pain, okay? And this is the truth, right? When we try to please others, we are basically saying that I agree with your standards. I agree with whatever you have going on, whatever you think is right, because I don't want to be the odd one out, because I want love, I want validation, I want to be accepted. But what you're doing is that you are giving up your divine essence, your divine expression, who you're here to be, what you came here to do. And only you know that, right? And only you were designed to be you. And the way you think, it's not crazy. It's not bad. What if you're a genius in disguise all of this time? Think about all the greatest inventors in our world, like Einstein, I don't know who else, like whoever you look up to, right? They have a different set of beliefs. They think differently. They don't think like most people. And of course, when they started out with their idea, bring it to the world, they upset a lot of people. They're like, what is this? What is this weird thing that you're doing? And all of a sudden the world's like, whoa, this is so genius, right? So how do you know that maybe you're just a genius in disguise? And you're living by someone else's standards, and you'll never get to be expressed, and you never get to be you. So the moral of this message is that you have to know that you're here to be you. You're not designed to please people, okay? Tap into your truest and highest human potential. You're not here to follow and accept things, even though you know they're not good for you. Just look at the world, right? For those of you who know, like, I travel all around the world. Right now I'm in Mexico, and there's in the world, there's in like Japan, Asia, Thailand, like, in those parts of the world, you walk on the other side, you drive on the other side. And when you go to Canada and US and Mexico, and then you like drive on the opposite side, there's all these rules. It's like, it's rude to slurp noodles in the US, but in Japan, it's like, oh, it's actually very polite and it's actually recommended, right? It shows that, you're really enjoying their food, and if you're doing it in that American restaurant, they're like, oh, there's no etiquette, what's wrong with you? So what is it going to be? Everyone has this set of rules, even countries, even things. So it's like, what's true for you? right? It's like now it comes down to that. You do you, boo, right? Comment that below. You do you, boo, right? That's exactly what it is. And it's more than that. It's more like, I'm going to go to the hell I want. It's more than that. It's about you knowing that you cannot be anyone but you. And while you're trying to protect yourself and protect your loved ones, but you can never upset anyone. They chose to be upset. Allow them to feel and to think and to react the way that's true for them, because you have to give yourself to think, to feel, to react, to be the way that's true for you. So if you give someone that opportunity, then it shows that you have been giving yourself opportunity. If you're not allowing people to do that, you're not allowing people to see things differently, right? So knowing that everything starts from you, and I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing ever wrong with you. And I hope you know that. And I hope you can feel my soul message to yours, that there's nothing wrong with us. You know this. When we're trying to be someone we're not, is the most painful thing. It's the hardest thing. But when we're just in our heart, in our truth, in our alignment, we feel love, we feel light, we feel peace. You always belong. There's always a spot for you in the light, because you are the light, you are the love, you are the peace that you have been seeking for. So stop looking elsewhere. Stop chasing. Stop pleasing. Stop doing things out of your character. Do you. Allow yourself to be the lighthouse and watch how your world change. This is Tina from Awaken with Tina. I love you so much. I would love to know your thoughts down below. And I made this video here for you to dive into more of this conversation. So I'll see you soon.